If Trump, the United States of America president was to be a Muslim, what could he might have turned USA into by now, and what could be the effects on the world generally? The Muslim vision. Hype programs were expanded, prioritizing Muslim immigrants, refugees, and communities in need. Inspired by the concept of Zakat charity, a new nationwide initiative encouraged Americans to give back to their communities, providing support to the homeless, the poor, and those suffering from systemic inequalities. Economically, he leveraged Islamic principles of fair trade and interest-free financing to reshape the financial system. Banks began to offer Islamic finance options, and in turn, Americans saw new opportunities in business and personal wealth. Voluntary charity became a major part of the national culture, as businesses were encouraged to donate a portion of their profits to societal causes. By incentivizing both businesses and individuals to invest in the welfare of society, Trump managed to reduce income inequality and increase economic stability. Diplomacy in the global arena. Internationally, President Trump reshaped American foreign policy through a spirit of peace. Instead of military interventions, his administration embraced Islamic diplomacy, seeking peace through dialogue, building bridges, and fostering alliances based on mutual respect. The U.S. became a key player in interfaith dialogue, leading global peace initiatives and advocating for human rights for all faiths and minorities. Trump's administration was quick to broker peace deals between Israel and several Arab nations, but with a unique twist. The deals were based not only on political interests but also on the shared values of justice found in Islamic teachings. Rather than promoting America first, Trump's policy was based on the principle of justice for all, which resonated in negotiations for peaceful resolutions to long-standing conflicts. In the United Nations, Trump advocated for the protection of religious freedoms, ensuring that Muslim communities across the globe, especially in war-torn areas, had access to humanitarian aid and were given equal representation on the world stage. Cultural and social impact. At home, President Trump encouraged a deepened respect for religious diversity in the United States. He emphasized that the American dream was not just for Christians or Jews, but for all people, regardless of their background or faith. This brought about a wave of new initiatives in schools and communities to promote interfaith understanding and cooperation. Islamic identity and American identity intertwined in ways never seen before. Mosques, once viewed as foreign or controversial in certain parts of the country, became landmarks of acceptance. Schools began offering lessons on Islamic history, and public holidays like Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Adha were officially recognized, offering a glimpse into the rich diversity of American culture. This shift sparked a cultural renaissance, blending the best of both Islamic values and American ideals. However, it wasn't all smooth sailing. Resistance from extremist groups both within the United States and abroad was fierce. Hate crimes against Muslims and other minorities saw a brief surge, but President Trump responded swiftly, not with division, but by uniting Americans under the banner of true Islamic justice, emphasizing the importance of peace, respect, and tolerance. The world's reaction. The world watched in awe and confusion. The impact on global politics was profound. Allies and adversaries alike were unsure of what to make of this Muslim-led superpower. Would this shift signal a global reorientation? Nations that were once hesitant to engage with the U.S. due to its Christian-centered policies began to see the United States as an inclusive and just global leader. Muslim-majority countries, many of whom had suffered under years of conflict, saw a change in their relationship with the West. Diplomatic ties strengthened, and nations like Saudi Arabia, Turkey, and Iran began working more collaboratively with the United States on international issues, from climate change to humanitarian aid in war zones. On the global stage, Islamophobia began to decrease, particularly as Trump's leadership set an example of how religious tolerance could coexist with national power. Religious extremists were less able to use the West's war on Islam narrative to recruit new followers, as the US president's Muslim identity challenged those stereotypes. However, this new status also provoked a backlash from ultranationalists and white supremacist groups around the world. They saw the ascendancy of a Muslim leader in the US as a threat to their vision of Western civilization, prompting a rise in global extremism. This led to a new era of cyber warfare, where social media platforms became battlegrounds for ideological warfare. The legacy. By the end of his second term, President Trump had transformed the United States into a country that celebrated diversity while staying true to the values of justice and equality that are central to Islam. He had revitalized America's role in global diplomacy, fostered economic growth through fair trade, and brought a sense of peace to a turbulent world. In this alternate reality, Trump's presidency wasn't just a political revolution, it was a cultural one. The effects on the world were profound. New alliances were forged, divisions were bridged, and the world saw what could happen when a leader genuinely prioritized peace, justice, and the dignity of all human beings. But the world was still grappling with the complexities of this new reality. Would America's Muslim president have changed everything for the better? Only time would tell, but his legacy would certainly leave an indelible mark on history, one that redefined the meaning of leadership, power, and peace in the modern world.